Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Coffee with Casey. My name is Casey Sampson. I run the Casey Sampson team here at Sampson Properties. That's a lot of Sampsons. That's a lot of Sampsons. So what we're going to talk about today is schools, because schools are an integral part of real estate. I mean, if you look at some school districts versus other school districts, the home values could be off by 50 to 75% in one school district versus the other. Now, most people look at greatschools.com as the Bible for schools. Here's where that's a mistake. So greatschools.com has three main grades before they give you that main number. You see a number like 5, it's a 5 or a 6 or an 8 or a 9. So there's three main grades. There's college readiness, which is important to everyone. There is the grades, test scores, which is important to everyone. And then there is what's called an equity rating. And an equity rating means if you take the, I think they classify them as the most well-off students, what are their grades, and then the less fortunate students, and they have classifications for who they are, what are their grades. The differential between those two grades is a rating. The farther they split, the lower the rating. So if they're up here, they get a high rating. If they're down here, it's a low rating. Now, for most parents, the most important thing is college readiness, getting my kids through school. Because I will be honest with you, college is not for everybody. Some people are just brilliant, but not good students, aren't really into school. They may go to the service, they may be in the trades, they may go to a trade school, they may decide they want to work on cars and not as interested in school. So maybe that rating goes like this. So this may be important to some parents. To many parents, they're looking at college readiness. So if that's important to you, then focus on the college readiness scores, not the general overall score. Focus on the test scores. Perfect example. Let's go to Marshall High School. A lot of people look at Marshall High School. It is a 6 on greatschools.com. Now, there's two things that throw that off. One, Marshall High School has the #1 IB program in the state. Now, IB means International Baccalaureate Program. I hope I said that right. So what that is an international standard around the world for what they want the high-level students to learn, and it's a consistent criteria throughout the world. Very powerful, very important, readies these kids for the world, and those scores, the benefit of that is apparent to colleges. It's apparent to U.S. News and World Report. It is not seen in greatschools.com. So that ability they have with the IB programs like South Lakes, Marshall High School, and others, they don't get that high rating and bump for the IB program because it's not important to greatschools.com. It is U.S. News and World Report who ranks Marshall High School as the #6 high school in the state, above 8s, above 9s in greatschools.com. So I think that, it's more than just looking at a number and pigeonholing a school. We found when we interviewed Marshall to find out what was going on, get some kind of explanation for this, because the parents swear by it, everyone loves it. Why is it only a 6? You find a school that speaks 60 different languages, has a diverse group of kids, has mentoring programs from major corporations in the Tysons Corner area, and you find a school that's really a magnificent school, and people pigeonhole it as a #6. So I think when you are investigating the town or the area and the schools, especially the high schools, you should go in and interview the PTSA president of that school. They're more than happy to talk to you. We will interview them. We will have them up online. We have an interview with the principal of Marshall High School. It's a fascinating interview. And, when you're done watching it, when Morgan and I were done doing the interview, we were like, why would anybody pick anything but Marshall High School? So it was amazing how when you learn about these schools, and I'll give you another one. If you go and talk to the PTSA president at South Lakes High School like we did, then you don't want to go anywhere other than South Lakes, because the things they show us about the camaraderie of the students, about the diversity of the students, about the achievements of the students in the school and their IB program, It really sends a great message. And I will give you one, just one story that I had a football player. He's a great football player. Everybody wanted him. He was on a line where he could go to Marshall or Madison. I'm sorry, he could go to South Lakes or he could go to Madison. Very educated family. Both were attorneys. Both parents were attorneys. So the principal at South Lakes said, that's fine, you can go to Madison if you want, but why don't you come to South Lakes and at least talk to us? When it was over, Luke decided he wanted to go to South Lakes as opposed to Madison. And I think it's a testament to the community of Reston, their whole mentality there, their whole philosophy there. It again has, I think it's 65 languages they speak. With a great IB program. So, you know, I think you need to not read gradeschools.com. I think you need to interview some of these PTSAs, look at some of the conversations we're going to have with principals and these presidents, and do that research for yourself. And a good resource is U.S. News and World Report. The same holds true with elementary schools. Some elementary schools may have really good test scores, you know, everything is good about the school, but they may have a very low equity rating where they're saying, hey, it's not very equitable because, you know, disadvantaged students aren't getting the same, and maybe there's a reason for that. And that reason can be found at PTSA. So I recommend you don't write off some of these. If you find homes that you like, the good thing about it is if you go to some high schools, South Lake School District, you'll find that those homes are $100,000 less than Madison High School District. And it is because of the high school. It is because of that rating. So I think if the parents take the time and go to the schools, they can find the right house, they can find the right price, and they can find the right school if they just do a little homework. This is Casey Sampson from the Casey Sampson team. You can reach me at casey@caseysampson.com. I run the Casey Sampson team. We do about $85 to $100 million worth of business a year in Northern Virginia. We're one of the Wall Street Journal's top teams. We'd be happy to help you out. You can find out these conversations with these principals and PTSA presidents at the caseysampson.com website. Just go to our blog, and Julie will have these things up. Thanks for spending time with us. We'll see you again next time.